Sky Temple. Oh, yeah. So game 3 in our best of 3 Pro Division, Resting Butcherface versus the newest guys, Colin the Renewal. We're jumping into draft, and RBF gets first pick, first ban, as TNG picked the map.
Instant ban Falstad.
Right? Like, let's see the global bans. Just pop them out, boys. They're thinking, actually. I did not expect them to think this hard about this. Or, Siege wasn't really ready, even though Nitty said, let's go. Which could be amusing and sad at the same time.
What are we going to get?
All right.
All right. Meta Rag ban.
Plus, Rag was just used really effectively against them late game.
Yeah.
So, both meta and, hey, man, you guys just kind of spanked us a little bit on that last game. So, bye-bye.
Do you continue with the Murky ban, though? Like, it seemed to me that TNG didn't really have a plan to deal with one. So, do you ban it again, or do you let it through?
I think they probably ban it again. But
they
Tassadar
banned
being
Tassadar
banned.
instead. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know, you let it through. If you don't have a plan to deal with it, then just don't let it through, right?
Right. That's a good point. All right, so we got a Murky pick. And we got a Tassadar ban from earlier.
But did they have a plan this time? Because, you know, they did have the whole last game
to think through?
Yeah, and all this fifth man nonsense to think about it.
Taking their time. I mean, the Murky pick, like, immediately was...
Pick Greymane.
I still can't get over first pick Murky. I'm sorry. I just can't
pick Greymane and go Wizened Duelist.
I mean, that's a way to do it, right?
Or pick someone with, like, Gathering Power or something.
All right, Varian and Falstad.
Okay.
All right, so two good picks, right? Varian and Falstad, very good on this map. I don't know. I feel like Greymane would have been a good pick there, though, just for the Wizened Duelist stacks.
I mean, I see why they didn't pick it first, because, you know, they're like, okay, we want these picks first. They don't have to pick Greymane here. They can pick it later on, you know, banned or picked by the other team. So.
Right. That's a good point.
Pick up the Medivh, the Vala. That makes the Greymane pick a bit less good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot harder to... It's a lot harder to kill somebody with the Greymane if Medivh's there to drop your shields and Vala's there to stun you, right? Or do, like, crazy damage to you. My handwriting is not so good this late at night, apparently.
Now, do you ban tanks here because they do not have a tank yet?
I think that's actually a good ban idea, right? But who do you ban? You just saw them play solo Artanis.
Well, it wasn't solo Artanis. They had Artanis.
Yeah, I mean, it was Artanis Sonya. And you know they're not going to Artanis Sonya here because they need a real healer, not just Medivh.
I mean, Malf is still on the table. You could ban Rhaegar as well, you know.
Well, and you still need a support, so banning a support's probably not the worst idea. But they
Yeah,
go with
so
the
they ban
ETC
ETC.
ban. All right. Hey, we know you can hit some sick moshes. We don't want to deal with it. So bye-bye ETC. And the mouth ban. See, as the second ban in the second wave, I'm not sure I would have banned Malfurion. Because you're limiting your healers too much, especially if they take the Rhaegar here. Or maybe, hey, maybe this is the Lucio game we've been looking for all night.
I was just thinking that.
I would love to see this be the Lucio game tonight. Lucio would actually work really well.
All right, everybody. I'm going Lucio. Just walk through those March of Murlocs. I'm putting down.
I don't know though, because I'd put Lucio on RBF, not on TNG.
I mean, we'll see, right?
Evil Penguin Bob, you missed the first game. This is not the first time we've seen first pick Murky between these two teams. Game 1 and now game 3 are first pick Murky. So,
oh, the Lucio.
oh,
winning.
there it is. All right.
The Li Ming pick is interesting to me because they do have a Medivh who has, protect and can, if their Medivh is on point, can react to those orbs and the missiles. Just use protect on them.
Right. That's true. That's very true. All right, who do you take for your last two here? You need a healer, you need a tank. Do you go Muradin? Do you go...
I mean, Rhaegar's still on the table, so I might pick that up if I were RBF. And then, I mean, ETC's gone. Diablo's still up.
You need the damage, too, so maybe Diablo's the right pick here. Diablo Rhaegar actually makes sense, because Rhaegar will put out some damage. More than... I almost... Karazim might be a better pick here. Like Diablo Karazim, possibly?
Oh, they go with the Oriole.
Okay.
Oriole Johanna.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Is she going to have enough energy? I feel like she might be low on energy with only Vala feeding her.
I feel like Vala might be enough.
Okay.
I think a Zarya pick wouldn't be bad here on it. Because you get those extra shield supplement Lucio's healing until he gets either that up the frequency.
Right. Ooh.
Or the rejuvenation one.
I did not see an Arthas pick coming there.
Or Arthas, yeah. Not Arthas.
Arthas, my friend. The Lich King himself. Not Artanis, who is the opposite of the Lich King.
It's been so long since I've seen the Lich King himself.
Really, I think EU and Korea have actually played a lot of games with him. So here we go. Draft is done. Loading into game 3 in the best of 3. Resting Butcherface versus the newest guys, colon the renewal. 1 game apiece. And for the blue team, Resting Butcherface, we have Quail Man on the Johanna, Fallout on the Vala, Nighty on the Medivh, Ramak on the Oriole, and Siege Train on the Murky.
And then for TNG, we have Stu Manchu on the Varian, Grim on Falstad, Dayuni on the Lucio, Asusake on the Arthas, and Atara on the Li Ming. All right, let's see how this game shakes down.
I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see Watchtower engagement or middle lane engagement.
Oh man, look at Lucio. He's just in his element right now.
Giving away we move together already. So Murky going bribe, of course. Well, a fishy deal, but bribe. I like the Lucio pick here. I think this could work out well.
Li Ming going Force Armor. I'm wondering why she's going Force Armor. There's not really like any assassin that really go on her unless...
That's a good question. Alright, so TNG quickly grabbing the Watchtower, but Medivh, being Medivh, can just take it back if he wants to. Murky already bottom lane, doing Murky things. And Medivh does indeed take the Watchtower back. And it looks like Arthas and Lucio are going to go bottom. Falstad is going to fly top. This might not be great for Falstad. That's an interesting team in the top. Ariel, Vala, and Medivh. Wow, they are fast with that Lucio floating around them. All right, so do you think we're gonna see just rotation back and forth? Top, nope. Falstead's gonna stay. Okay.
Yeah, with the Lucio, they can rotate like wherever they need.
Oh, that's an interesting place to wall ride. I didn't even think of that.
All walls, my friend, all walls.
Yeah, but I don't even see that as a wall, right? It's like open space. They do appear to be rotating middle and then back up and then middle and then back up, and this is interesting. This is actually the way that you theorized, or no, one of our viewers tonight theorized you could use Lucio on something like Dragonshire.
Hey, it was my idea first.
Okay, all right. I won't take it away from you. I just remember talking about it tonight.
No, I'm sure I'm not the first person to.
I mean, clearly, unless TNG is getting their strategy from our show, which is possible. But Murky already dead at least once, so looks like both teams might be about to just trade shots here. But Artanis just killing Murky over and over and over again.
Arthas, right?
You did it to me. Yes, Arthas. You can tell it's getting late. All right, and we're gonna have TNG challenge Wrestling Butcher face for the middle shrine, sort of.
Medivh getting pretty low. Oh, they're in kind of a bad spot.
Oh,
here,
that's gonna
RBF
that could be a kill. So TNG did get in on the. Whew, that was a nice charge by Stu Manchu on the very end. TNG did get on the temple, but they did not get on it in time to take any shots. Murky is dead again. But even the first game where we saw Murky, he was dying all the time, and it didn't really matter. Like, it didn't change anything, even though he was dying all the time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think he should be dying all the time because he has living the dream, but I can understand if he is because he that lane and he doesn't get like the rejuvenation bubble until later on if he takes that talent.
Right. All right, Lucio going subwoofer at 4. Both teams getting pretty close to 7. Giants are picked up on the side of TNG, and Arthas pushing bottom lane a little bit, but I don't know that he's going to get this wall down before bottom temple starts.
Oh, there's Boombox.
Is there? You're right, there is. This will be interesting to see how well that works, since, again, we had that discussion tonight. There's the boombox sitting by the camp. Wait, Lucio was nowhere. Maybe he was close enough to drop that.
Yeah, he's fast, all right? He can be wherever he wants to be.
He's moving. Yep, okay, so he definitely placed it within position. It did get taken out pretty quickly by Resting Butcherface, and that's another Murky death. Falstad and Varian pushing top with this bruiser camp. Taking out that top fort pretty seriously. That's going to get him a bit of a lead. Almost a full level lead, actually.
And taking out forts and structures are insanely good on the map because less lasers go at those things.
Right.
At the structures.
Now, this is definitely a structure-based map, right? So the more structures you can take out, the better off you are. Murky died again, and we have a full level lead, 9-for-8 on the side of TNG over Resting Butcherface. But RBF is holding the bottom shrine right now, or the bottom temple right now, and putting some damage on this fort. And if TNG doesn't get in there, they're going to lose their bottom fort.
I think they're okay with that because they are doing an insane amount of structure.
Up in the top lane, you're right, they are. They got the keep wall down, which is actually worth more XP than the fort. So I think that was actually a great trade. And the fort, yeah, the fort did go down, but the tower did not. And that's going to get him 10. So we do see sound barrier from Lucio on 10. Everything else looks pretty much the same, what we would expect here. And Arthas looking to possibly engage with this Vala. Oh, especially now that the rest of the squad's here. That's a dead Vala. Li Ming porting in to get that kill. With her blink. Or not blink, but her E. Because she took Calamity. Wow, I couldn't think of that for a second. But, alright, so TNG has a level lead, 11 versus 9, and they just got a kill on the Vala. They're going to go ahead and take boss. Because why not take boss at 620? But, RBF just hit 10, and Leyline Seal is now available for...
Yeah, they gotta watch that Leyline Seal.
They gotta look out for that. Yeah, he is not going to use it. Preemptive Gust, and TNG's looking to get some kills here, and they're going to secure on them.
Sound barrier.
Oh, wow. Alright, so that's going to be 2 kills for nothing. And looking to get Medivh here, too, if they can. And they do pull off killing Medivh. Vala looking to put some damage onto TNG. But it's Vala solo. Not much she can do about that. So Boss going to push bottom lane with Arthas, who went Army of the Dead. I was hoping for Syndragosa, if I'm being honest. But this should be a solid push bottom lane. Varian, Arthas, Lucio with the boss.
Yeah, it was a really good push.
And the Siege Giants are up too. So I would not mind seeing them back out here and just let the Mercs go in and maybe look for a kill there. But really, it's really only 3 members of TNG down here right now. Falstad's clearing top. Li Ming has joined them now, so they do have 4 down here. And it looks like they're just going to take the bottom temple. That makes sense at this point. Falstad might actually take the middle temple. And Lucio looks like he's going to go up and help Falstad. So,
yeah, Murky unable to use like any of his bribe stacks because the whole map is just red.
Right, absolutely. And let's see. So we do have a March of the Murlocs, which I would expect. Alright, so nothing odd. Wrestling Butcherface did push in on this bottom temple, and so TNG said, that's cool, we'll just back out. We're going to go take our siege camp and not worry about it.
Yeah, TNG can afford to trade here because they are up in structures.
A lot. It looks like RBF's fort is now down, so that's... All 3 forts are now down for Wrestling Butcherface. So TNG at this point can jungle and just, you know, do what they need to get shots on structures. Looks like we're going to have, let's call it half of the keep front wall down, middle lane, and of course top lane, the entire keep wall is down. Okay, so 2 forts down for TNG. RBF getting a couple of forts down with that last temple. TNG looking to invade. And
they killed the Murky.
They killed the Murky, but Murky had bribed the camp already, so RBF's Bruiser camp is going over to RBF. TNG's going to clear that up real quick. And looks like they may push with their Bruiser camp here. Actually wouldn't mind seeing them push with this. Look for a kill like that on Medivh. Murky went down. Oh, that Joe may be in a really bad place. Sound barrier's out. Medivh did use Leyline and only caught 1 person. And they isolate Medivh. TNG isolates Medivh and does get a kill on him. That was actually a great isolation.
Yeah, we got to see that subwoofer value pushing Medivh away from his...
Oh! Vala getting deleted there. Just absolutely deleted. And that's going to be key for sure.
March of the Murlocs coming out.
Doing a decent amount of damage because it's March of the Murlocs. So TNG backs out a little bit and then says, you know what? We're going to take this. It's 13 versus 15. Maybe we'll get a kill. And they're looking to finish Vala, and they do pull that off. Murky just dying over and over and over again. And, you know, keep down 16 versus 13. Now is probably a good time to go ahead and retreat. Oh, man, Medivh, I don't know that you guys want to come in on that.
Yeah, he's just trying to get as many stacks of his Master's Touch as possible.
Li Ming might be in trouble, but Falstad stops his B to gust away the rest of Resting Butcherface, and it looks like everybody is going to escape here. So what do you do at this point, right? Most of the map is already red. I guess now there's a temple up, so they can go to one of the 2 temples. But with most of the map red, there's really nothing else to do right now except for the temples, which just spawned as I was literally saying that. Also, FBE Carnival, thank you for the host. Not sure if you'll see this or not, but if you do, thank you very much for the host. All right, so TNG pushing really hard. Structurally, they're ahead by a lot. Kills, they're ahead 10-2. And it looks like they want to go for an engage instead of just taking the temple. That should be possibly a dead Ariel there.
Well, the ley line.
Or Vala, rather. She's getting really low. That was a great 5-man ley line there. And the Medivh shield's just coming out constantly. But that's going to be Medivh and Vala dead. Oh, and the boss spawned right then. Varian saying, "What's up, boys? You guys can chase. I'm starting boss."
Wait, boys, I can't do it myself.
Right? Wait, I changed my mind. Everybody back on boss. Let's get this real quick, and we can push hard. Murky top lane, though, pushing that temple and getting a lot of value out of that. All the shots almost gone for Murky. And it looks like we're going to see Joe and possibly Ariel go mid lane. So that's interesting. It looks like... okay, never mind. I'm not sure why Falstad just flew there. I'm lost. I would have thought they wanted to push with boss, but I guess they're going to go ahead and try and take this middle. That's a dead Murky. He is not going to survive that. Yep, and he knows it, so he's just B-stepping for all he's worth. I guess the tempo makes sense here.
It's more of like the safer option here.
Yeah, but you've already won 2 team fights and you're up a talent tier, right? Like, I guess, but I don't know. You're up a talent tier and you've won every team fight so far, like post 10. Even before 10, I think. But you're right. It is the safer option. That probably makes the most sense. Why throw the game if you don't have to, right?
Yeah.
All right, so they finished soaking mid temple. Resting Butcherface's mid keep is like, if you sneeze on it, it will go down. Asusaki on the Artanis just sitting right on top of the other end of the Medivh portal in case somebody decides to come out. Nobody wanted to brave the Lich King. Oh, March of the Murlocs is out. Oh, that's a lot of damage on Arthas. This may not be good for him. So low.
Sound barrier's popped.
Sound barrier. Oh, and they're going to turn this fight. Sound barrier, Murky death is followed up by a Johanna death. Varian's banner was down. Medivh did use his ley line and got 4 people there. But that's not going to save Resting Butcherface's keep. That's going to be 2 keeps down. And the boys from TNG coming bottom looking to see if they can push the rest of this keep wall down. Keep wall and maybe another structure or another kill might get them 20. They are not that far off. It is 16 versus 19, so talent tiers are the same. Another dead Murky. Feel like I say that a lot this game.
Oh, that is dirty.
That blow up was real. And that's a keep that's down. And they're looking for another kill, maybe to finish here. Oh, Vala's so low, but oh, that heal. What? Oh, man. I actually feel bad about that. I thought Vala was going to get her life back, but that's going to be GG's. Only Murky stands between 5 members of TNG and this core. I do not believe there is any stopping this. Gust used for giggles. Oh, man. March of the Murlocs doing a ton of damage, but Lucio popping his shield, and that's going to be GG. TNG does win that.
Yeah, I was saying earlier in that game, hey, Lucio could just go sound barrier. We'll just walk straight through the mark. Damage taken.
You were right. You were definitely saying that, and that seems to be what happened.